Absolutely.
They can sue me, they can take me to court, but they can't.
But obviously you can't because you've put that fence in place, and which is quite nice. Not only did you not, like, you did acknowledge the risk that's in the business, obviously, but also you found ways to mitigate it, which I thought was quite beautiful. Because in most cases, most people, when you just want to buy houses, obviously, without looking into the trust aspect of things. And also what's beautiful is not only are you foreseeing, like, bankruptcy, because it could be just the courts, it could be the court, it could be bankruptcy. Apart from that, it could be just a bad trading name or something.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have everything protected in that sense is beautiful. And I think for those, obviously, that are trying to get into the game, I think that's something that also they need to, like, put in mind. How can they ring fence the whole investment in general?
And when I say ring fencing, it's for asset protection. So it's completely legal to protect your assets.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is quite, and then obviously with, like, the legal part of things, would you say it's quite easy to have the same legal team, like for you now? Like, do you have the same legal team that deals with
all of mine? Yeah, because
nice.
I'll tell you why. The company is quite simple, just buying a company quickly, right?
Yes.
But setting up a trust, there isn't a trust act. Well, there is a trust act, but it's pretty small and short. It's not the same as the Companies Act, which has got so many rules that you have to follow.
Yes.
The trust is all about the trust deed and how it's written.
Yes.
So if you go to the wrong person and they write the wrong stuff down and they don't give you an independent trustee, etc.,
stuff like that,
then it's seen as a farce and it's not really a protected vehicle.
Yes, I see. And then obviously, like, when you're opening up the trust, obviously there's your trustees and all of that stuff. Like for you, is it something you go? Is it more of a family thing, or is it more of...
Wonderful question.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I firstly set up the company that owns some of my properties, and then the company that owns my home, and then the trust that owns the company, is because the trustees of my company are not just myself and my partner, but it's also my children.
Absolutely.
So I avoid death duty.
Oh yeah.
And what's the name of the other thing? Executor fees.
Yes.
So executor fees are 4%.
Okay,
so 3.5 plus tax.
Yeah.
So if you end up paying an executor to wind up your estate when you die, if everything's in your private name,
absolutely,
he takes 4% of what he sells it for. You don't first take off the bond.
Yes.
So if you work it out, sometimes, depending on how much value there is it actually ends up being like you've got an extra baby there, that you're paying.
Okay. Yes.
I want to leave my actual children with my money.
The full value of it,
Yeah, I've built generational wealth, and I want them to get it. Not the tax man to get another cut of it.
No.
I don't want creditors to touch it, and I don't want an executor to be my fourth baby.
And stuff, And I think that's the other thing, it's not so much about just making the money itself and generational wealth, which is beautiful, but it's also seeing how you can mitigate the risk and actually protect it. I think is more exciting. And you've done all three of them, which is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I've learned a lot, by the way. And then also now, obviously, you've done all of this, you've mitigated all this risk. How do you choose your trustee, for instance?
You've got to be careful there. You can't have a trustee that might not be your friend in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise you've got to go to court to fight trustees and it's a mess.
Yeah.
So a trustee, founder and a trustee are very, very important that you trust that person. Literally.
Absolutely.
And then having your children, if you love your children, which 99% of us do,
absolutely,
then we want to have our children as beneficiaries in the beginning, and when they're of age, you want to turn them into trustees as well.
Nice. Yeah, and that's the beauty about it. So not only, because in most cases, what I've noticed with most people is necessarily, I wouldn't say it's not teaching the kids how to be financially their IQ on the financial aspect of things, but having to bridge them in that sense is quite smart. I feel being a beneficiary and eventually you bridging out to being a trustee, I